Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm happy to come here and also to see Untitled. We several times we cross each other, so it's always nice to be together. And I will start to speak about air design from a first stage, urban design, because I think it's the question of the air is really important, but not really as a choice, but maybe as a consequence. When Untitled, for example, presents the question of hygiene during the modernity, I think it was really a real problem, because today, when we analyze this period, it's for us, it's looked like a kind of paranoia, maybe, or a kind of crazy purity focusing on this aspect of things. But if you look back to what happened during the 19th century, you understand that a lot of people really die because in the city, because the hygiene was very bad, and the city was the way to deal with the trash was not so good, and so it was really a real problem during the 19th century, and of course the modernity start from this and have to solve this problem. And it doesn't start with Le Corbusier and the above. It starts with it have started with a sanatorium at the end of the 19th century, with the idea that we must have a big light, because we understand that the tuberculosis, this disease, could be maybe a little cure by the light. And so it was the invention of the big windows, it was the invention of the balcony, it was the invention of the terrace, it was the invention of the air inside the building. And all this idea that come from the 19th century was introduced into the modern program as one of the 5 points of the modern architecture of Le Corbusier. You could understand that it is a kind of medical vision of medical point. And if for us it's look funny, it's because maybe what's happened. It's we discover it was discovered in 1930. We discovered the antibiotics, these small pills you could eat, and it was distributed in a very large way starting 1950. And so at the end, you know, if you are a disease like tuberculosis, because it was one of the main diseases of the 19th century, you don't need anymore to have a zoning like the chart of Athens of Le Corbusier, because what he want to separate program, and he want to destroy the old street. Because they want to, because in the old streets the air doesn't move enough, so he want to enlarge the street and to get the sun, to get a very good quality of air inside the city. So, but all this program could have absolutely no sense after the 1950, because you could be in a very dirty city, old city, and just eat an antibiotic and it's okay. So you don't need anymore to have big window, to have a wide surface, to have all this knowledge of the modernity. And so maybe you could come back into the old city, and maybe the idea of postmodern, you know, this idea to save the old city, to come back in the Italian small village. It's a consequence of the antibiotic, because you could live maybe in this old city with small window, with no light, with a bad air, but just you eat pills and you have no problem. So maybe we could have a kind of medical vision of the history of architecture. Maybe it is the antibiotic. This is tuberculosis that create modern architecture. This is the antibiotics that create postmodern architecture. And so if you think about this, I did a project in 2008. It was called Winter Beach, and I was analyzing what's happened with the question of the beach. And before the 19th century, it was nobody liked the sea, nobody go to swim. For example, in Switzerland, all the village on the lake, the lake was a dirty facade, and the good facade was inside. It was not to the lake, and what's happened in the 19th century? Some doctor in 1812 find that you need some iodine, you need some product of the sea to save some disease like goitre, or like some disease, rachitism, or some disease linked to this lack of iodine inside the body. And at this moment, in 1812, it started in England. It was a French doctor that finds this, but it was spread in Europe. And so at this moment, the doctor said to some people, to some sick people in England, to go to the sea or to go. It was the same question with the ultraviolet with the mountain, but all the idea of the 19th century urban development is maybe linked with this discovery of iodine, because it's the invention of Brighton, of all the Vichy, Evian-les-Bains, all this city where you could swim, all the Biarritz or Deauville. All this new development of the 19th century is linked with this discovery of iodine, and there is some new city, some new the city change. Also in Switzerland, for example, all the development of the 19th century is completely different. The good facade turn and look to the sea. So it changed completely the way to think about architecture, and also to think about urban design. And maybe the entire 19th century urban development is linked to the discovery of iodine. And there is another element later, because if you think people start in the 19th century to go to the beach and to swim, and because before the 19th century nobody goes to swim, nobody go inside. But if you look to old photography of people, they have still clothes and they go to swim. And after we discover that we need also ultraviolet, we need some sun on the skin, and because it creates synthesis of vitamin D, and so people start to take off the clothes and go naked in the beach, or just with a small piece of clothes, and so it's also so at the end the beach, the idea to go to the beach, to be a little naked, and all this social activity to go in holiday to the beach, maybe just a consequence of the discovery of the iodine in the 19th century, and ultraviolet also. So we could think that maybe some very simple molecule could have a very big influence on architecture and urban development. And so here I was just thinking, what could be a beach if we really go down to these very essential things. And I proposed to do winter beach. It was just based on two elements, on iodine, cloud, and ultraviolet light. And without palm trees, without water, without nothing, it's just these two first elements to create a beach with this essential element. And it was during all winter in France, in a very big, closed, old bunker construction. And it was funny because it was a success, a popular success. A lot of people go there. So it was, the idea was not to represent the consequence of the beach, to take the image of the beach, but to build the beach from the molecular point of view. So it's the idea not to work with image, but to work with the elements that are at the background or the ground of the image. So now yes, just to explain, here inside there is some bottle of water of the Alp of Martigny. It's a small village in the Alp, and it was interesting because there, there is a lot of people, diseased people in the mountain in the 19th century and before, with big goitres, and we call them crazy people of the mountain, crétins des Alpes. And these people was when we discovered that this disease could be saved by this iodine. So there is some source in Martigny. It was not in Martigny; it was in Saxon. They discovered this water, and this water contained a little quality of iodine inside, and people go to drink there, and so it was the development also of the tourism in Switzerland linked with this and development of new city linked with this iodine. So it was a cloud of iodine with a very dissolved iodine, and so now I would like to present. Another point of view about air. And maybe it's linked to the Tom lecture when we see the three. He speak about. The first was, the second was the technology with Centre Pompidou, and the last one was this with the climatic, the use of the climatic to create the form. And here, it's some project. I just want to focus on this project that use pressure to design the building. And I did several projects, and I did a kind of typology of this project. And some projects are more based on the light, some other are more based on heat, some other on vapor, and this one and all these one are based on the air pressure. And the question of air pressure is linked today with sustainability. So maybe the idea of the political and 60s utopian idea is not, in my work, it's not linked to this. So I have not really an interest to this period. I think the interest for me to work with the air is more a consequence of the global warming problem and the question to reduce the energy in the building. And of course, if we want to reduce the consumption of energy in the building, it's linked with this big insulation and an airproof skin, so the interior of the building become completely closed, and you have to renew the air inside because we take the oxygen in the air and we consume it and we produce CO2, and also we lose some vapor, so you have to renew the air. And of course we don't want to renew the air in a random way. We want to control it, because if it is very cold outside, and so you don't want to bring a lot of new air, you want to bring only the air you need to reduce the consumption of energy. So this new issues that are based in my work to deal with this question. And for doing this, there is this system. It is one of the most efficient today. It is this double flow air renewal. So you take the new air and it go inside the house, and after it go out. And there is a heat exchanger before, and you calculate the quantity of new air you need linked to the activity inside. And so, based on this, I made several projects. The first project is linked to the activity, the quantity of oxygen you need, quantity of new air you need, linked with your sport activities. And you could see, for example, if you the oxygen consumption in liter by minute. If you do some sport, you could see that it multiplies by 10 the quantity of oxygen you burn when you do some sport. And there is some recommendation. For example, if there is only a storage, you could change the air only 3 times per hour. Or there is not a lot of people that stay a long time there, so it could be 2 times 4 hours, and you could see that it become bigger and bigger, 30 times in the shower because there is a lot of vapor produced. And also sport, when you do some sport, you need to change the air because you have perspiration, and also you burn quickly the oxygen and you have to change it. And here, so the project was completely based on this idea, there is a kind of reverse process. So I first design the duct, the pipe, and for example, and this is the first. It's a kind of river. So it's a small river at the beginning. It's just one source of new air, and this air go there and go here, and after there is a second river of air that arrive. And after there is a third river, and so it means that at the beginning there is not a big change of air, but at the end here there is a lot of exchange of air. So it's like a flow of air with a small rivers that become bigger and bigger, and at the end after it become a lake, and after it become a sea. So it's a kind of progression of the quantity of air that there is in the building. And so there is first the design. This is a plan of the building. So we first designed there is no more differentiation between duct and space. The pipe are the space, and so here we following the recommendation. So here we introduce the entrance hall. Here it's a yoga, maybe a hall, and here it's maybe a small, slow activity, sport activity, and here it become a very heavy activity, and this is shower. So we following this plan of the air quantity in the space, we introduce a program inside. And so this, and at the end there is a double flow air. We recuperate all the air at the end here, and there is a heat exchanger at this time. Another project based also on air, on the pressure of air. This is a machine that the new air arrive, and it change, and it go. It's cold before, and it go inside the space, inside space, and after it go out, and there is a heat exchanger. And so this is normally it's a small machine. That it is in the basement, and here the idea is to enlarge the machine to the size of the building, and this is a sport building. So the idea is to take the air from outside, and it arrive inside the building, and after it go out, and all and the system, it is to when it's arrive, this is a winter situation, so it arrive at, it is cold first, and after it warm by the radiator inside, and after it go out. And the idea is to place the function following the temperature of the air inside. So it means that when it's cold at the beginning, if it is 10 degree or 0 degree, we could have the storage of the because nobody the machine could stay at 10 degree, and after it's 14 degrees Celsius here, because when you do sport you produce your own energy, so you don't need 20, and after here it become warmer and warmer, and here we have the shower where you are naked, and in between, all this is in metallic plate, so there is a heat exchange. So when the air go out, this diagram is not so good, this one is better. The air lose its heat and give it to the new air through this line of this metallic line. So this is a metallic line, and there is a very high coefficient low coefficiency of conduction, so the temperature of this side of the building go to this one. So this is a plan, and so the building become like an enlarged machine of double flow machine. And of course, the form following there is this round corner like it is in the pipe, because if you have not round corner, it creates turbulences and noise. And another project is also based on the air. With two different systems. One, it is a summer system, and another was a winter system. And we analyze from where comes the wind, and we place the building inside the wind. So during the summer, the air, there is a natural ventilation inside, and so this is the system. And during the winter, because we need to change the air in the swimming pool, also to change the CO2, but also to change the pollution of tericloramine produced by the cleaning product inside the water. And so we could see here, this is a bath, the plant, so the new air arrive, and it go out here. And what we did for the winter situation, the idea is to warm. We could see it here. Yes, we could warm because the temperature of the air of the swimming pool have to be at 28 degrees Celsius. So we warm with this air. We warm the fitting room, the changing room here, but of course we don't want the humidity of the air, of the water of the pool that go in the changing room. So we take the air, the breathing air from this side, and it go inside this small pocket. But in between, there is just a metallic conductive wall between this and the inside, so it means that it is warmed by the air, but the humidity of the air don't go inside. So this is a plan. And the last project, also based on ventilation, we try to reduce the energy inside the building. So we use the natural convection, not convection, but natural movement of the warm air go up and the cold air go down. So we place, this is for the library, so we place a different program following this natural stratification. So the storage are down, and where the people stay is more warm. And but also we use we introduce the new air there, and we need to change the air. It's 7,000 square meter by hour where there is some people, but in the storage you don't need to warm to change the air so quickly. We need only 600 square meter by hour. So what we do, it's like a river of water. We just create some pockets, so there is a small quantity of air that fall down to change the air. When you have in the river, when there is a kind of enlarging space in the river, so the water becomes slow in this kind of area. So we design all the section following this. So the idea is to, of course, not to. We don't need here 7,000 changing 7,000 square meter for an hour, because there is only book without people here. And this is the plan. And this is some image inside. Okay, and I just want to finish with one movie. It is we just win a competition in Taiwan for a park, and we won the competition in October, and we have signed the contract 3 weeks ago now, and we're just starting. And I want to show the movie. It is in Chinese with English subtitle, and so it was the movie we show at the end of the presentation of the competition. And so it's for a 69-hectare park in Taichung. Okay.
位于北回归线上，台湾虽有着热带典型的湿热气候，却也有中央山脉上寒冷气候。沿岸的气候很湿热，在某些季节是很不舒服的。然而山上因为高度的缘故，气温整年都凉爽。基于这些地理和地质上的因素，在台中要好好享受露天空间，在某些季节是很困难的，因为空气太热又太常下雨。我们计划的目的是想要缓和一下气温、湿度和空气污染，让台中市民和来宾能好好享受露天的户外。我们的公园有一个主要的任务，它要成为这城市绿色的肺，为市民的生活带来纯净的空气、凉爽和阴影。为此，我们提出在我们的公园里降低气温、降低湿度和减少空气污染的蓝图，以达成创造一个新的住起来比较舒服、惬意的气候环境。我们的公园提出在夏天能把纬度稍微高一点的埔里的舒适气温带来台中。对于湿度，我们的公园提出能够延伸11月舒适的干燥气候到中年的其他月份。对付空气污染，我们要把瑞穗乡间的纯净空气带到台中市都心来。在公园散步的人，以某些角度来看，就像即使在另一个纬度旅行一样，在另一个季节，在另一个气候较好的纬度里。为了减低高温、湿度和空气污染，我们在公园中会装设气候侦测机，每一个侦测机会改善高温、湿度和空气污染。如果90%的侦测机是由比如说有去除污染功能的树，那就是有10%的设施建造，比如说像是喷泉、喷水池、喷雾机、空气除湿机，或者是可驱逐蚊子的超声波播放喇叭。在既有的地图上，我们画出了3张气象图，每张皆有特别的大气数值，让我们可以选择装置这些不同气候侦测机在公园里的位置。第一个是关于温度的地图，公园本身不同的地点，以自然的有着不同的温度。我们将在受东北风吹拂而比较凉爽的地方加重的种植能降低气温的气候侦测机。相反的，在比较不受东北风影响的地方，我们就种植少些，因此这些地方会比较热。第2章是关于空气中水汽的地图。我们新创造了公园的地形，决定了这个地方的水流向，也因此决定了空气中的水汽。然后，公园中最低洼处，正常来讲是存水最多之处。地缘的关系，因此空气中也聚集最多的水汽。在这些地方，湿度最大。相反的，在最高的地方，在我们创造的小山丘顶上，空气将会比较干燥，也比较舒服。我们 将利用这既有的优点，更加强地加装很多有除湿功能的气候侦测机。为了制定第3章关于空气污染的地图，我们自然而然地从公园四周的公路画起。只要越远离公路，我们就越可以感觉到空气污染的减少。在远离道路的地方，我们加强了大量装置可以去污染的侦测机。所以气候侦测机就是我们这风景乐谱里的创造元素。它们建构了无数质量不等的微小气候，将自然地主导了公园里节目的分布，比如说公共建筑、娱乐区、散步路径的排列或游戏广场的位置。根据我们所绘制的气象地图，仔细地画出界限来。在公园中气候比较不舒服的地点，我们建议在这里制作有建筑物的节目，像是博物馆、铁塔、停车场、夜店等。相反的，娱乐空间将设在我们所制造的小气候中最舒服的地方。以此类推，我们将安排儿童游戏区在空气污染最不严重的区域，以保障孩子们的健康。而运动区，我们将设置在较干燥的地方，就不会因为空气太过潮湿而妨碍了身体正常的排汗。散步的路径会根据公园里不同质量的气候环境而安排，所以此路径将会串联起公园内所有比较干燥的区域，成为舒服的慢跑小道。另一条路径将会串联起公园内比较不受污染的区域。我们要建造一条亲子之路，在这条路上，我们可以放心地和孩子们散步。每一条路径皆会带给人们不同的感官经验。为了让公园的游客感觉空气变得凉爽，我们建议有30来种气候侦测机，比如说，在空气中散播着微小水滴的喷雾器，可以让四周顿时清凉。把家里室内的休闲材质应用在室外的长椅上，如此突兀的在大白天里，可让人感受到如夜晚回家的清爽时刻。一种水泥材质做成的支架，里头有着经过地下自然冷却的水通过的水管，表面会因此保持冰凉，让人消暑。广种叶片硕大的树会有很多的树荫，让人躲太阳。一种把四周炎热的空气吸起来，存到很深的地底之下，再排放出来的侦测机，能创造一块清凉舒爽的区域。稍微远一点，我们可以看到一床用泥土搭成的小屋，它也具有吸收空气中水汽的功能。汇集了公园里的水流而形成的小湖，造成了这个地点湿度比较大，比较不舒服。但我们可以因此在这里规划喷水游戏区。汇集了公园里的水流而形成的小湖，造成了这个地点湿度比较大，比较不舒服。但我们可以因此在这里规划喷水游戏区。种在这里的树会吸收空气里的湿气。篮球场地板的材质将会吸收高温和湿气，在这里做运动变得比较舒服。首先是城市的噪音，我们发射与它相反的音波，将噪音抚平，还原原本的宁静。接着，我们要用不同的方式来打击和吸收空气的污染。光触媒的运用，它能吸收和分解空气里有毒的分子。 一些具有吸收空气中有毒物质特性的植物。最后是超声波的播放喇叭，可以驱赶蚊子，让儿童能够再回到公园来玩耍。我们的计划在今天是一个基本且必要的计划，它带来养生并维护大城市市民的健康。我们真正想要送给台中市市民是感官的经验，是一个让人觉得舒服的广大户外空间。在那里，我们可以避开酷暑和大雨，度过美好时光。在远离噪音和污染之际，放轻松身心，跟孩子们在露天空间里嬉戏游玩。
Okay, voilà, it's finished. Thank you.